Welcome to your Inspirational Astrology Horoscope for Monday, September 23rd, 2013. I am astrologer David Palmer, the Leo King, here to illuminate the collective consciousness. Well, happy birthday to my Oma. She turns 88 today, and I want to wish her the best birthday ever. I love you so much, Oma. Well, we have a great time in store of us. We are at a new period in our lives. We have stepped into this Pluto direct motion, which was very big, and I'm sure you felt the change in your life, in the energy after we stepped out of a big full moon last week, Pluto going direct. This is forward movement now in writing new chapters in our lives. We have Saturn and Pluto, which are in a perfect sextile and moving forward. And this is the ground base of karma in our life and really the ground base of these new pages we are writing into our life. And a lot of this has to do with relationships because we've had Venus, which has gone through a dead conjunction with Saturn and the North Node last week, and now it's coming into a square with Mars. So this is bringing dynamic, powerful relationships, ones that are sometimes hard to find and hard to get, but more importantly, this has to deal with the ones that are really going to stick it through the karmic story of true partnership. You know, it's really testing the waters of passion and love and, you know, true core to our karmic truth. You know, this wise tale that we all have to tell ourselves in remembering why we're here, remembering the beauty of our lives. And I think a lot of Libra energy, as it is the equinox period, as it is about relationships, as it is about harmony, but it is mainly of peace and harmony and beauty. And to find connections that are not only, you know, just or fair, but right. You know, one thing about all this beautiful energy in Libra is it is about the right amount of energy. Not too much, not too little, just the perfect amount. You know, when you have just enough salt and just enough pepper, it's just perfect. It's just amazing. And that's what the beauty of Libra is. And as you're looking at an astrology chart, and we've come through so much change, and the universe is really dropping us into this week with a red carpet, into writing the pages of your life, writing the, you know, really the change has happened, the events have happened for you to go out there and make this happen. And Mars in Leo is charging forward and coming into the square, and it's Venus that's catching up to the slower moving Mars energy. So, you know, this can really bring some weird relationships, and you really have to pay attention to them because it's based off realigning your life to harmonize. Everything now is going to be harmonizing with the new story. And that's because Pluto and Saturn in a perfect sextile really are bringing this dynamic karmic story to our lives. They're both moving forward now. They're here to instill our passions, instill our goals together, to work together. And a lot of this is by stepping into, you know, the emotional field in this broad way we never have before. And really listening to our root of our life, listening to the core of what we want to be, and seeing if whether or not we have the ability to go forward or not. Is Uranus in Aries, which retrogrades at 10 degrees today. And this is bringing a lot of really powerful energy to the table for this Libra to harmonize our lives in ways that is dynamic, that is powerful, and with the moon in Taurus today, that is based off, you know, the structure of a life that's what you're worth. And I think a lot of this has to do today with, you know, testing your ability to connect with this new life that really is based upon where your truth can be, where your goals can harmonize with correctly, and to build relationships that deal more in a karmic story, that deal more in whether or not your passions and your truth and their passions and their truth can come together and harmonize and create something very beautiful. And that goes in our love relationships, it goes in business relationships, it goes in personal relationships, it goes in friendships. That this is a very powerful and beautiful period that's also met with extreme yes or no's. So be prepared for teams to shift, you know, in the next couple weeks here, especially this week as we're the building up of the Venus-Mars, you know, square that's going to come into next week. And a lot of this also with, Mercury finishing up here in Libra, as there's a lot of communication on ideas, and that's what Libra is the ideas, the thought patterns are what weigh things out. And it's whether if intellectually we can weigh a lot out in our lives too. And we are trying to find the harmony. We are trying to find this peace in our life. And it is so important for you to find this now in your relationships, in your passions, and not for us to emotionally hoard into a certain way that it must be, but still understand and hold on to something that we know is of value by placing a lot of our energy into, investing into our truth, by investing into ourselves, but still opening up ourselves emotionally to leave our comfort zones and to step more into a dynamic self. It's going to take courage. Even when you're feeling not right, or if you're feeling, not yourself, there's this barrier we've got to push through to get to your truth. It's a test. It's a karmic test to whether or not you have what it takes to write this story based off your truth, based off your karmic record, that this is what this is calling up. Pluto and Saturn, when they meet like this in a sextile together, very rare, very, very rare, and powerful to happen in their switched signs like this, because, Saturn in Scorpio is actually doing the Capricorn thing in Scorpio, and then you have Pluto doing the Scorpio thing in Capricorn. This is really for us, truthfully, to reach the top of our goals. And with Pluto, Uranus squaring, and the moon's in a perfect place today, this is story writing now. This isn't about change. This is about developing the story now. So I encourage you today to start develop the story of your life, and to step more into this harmony, and to harmonize your life, and to really look at your relationships and see if if you're going to waste any more energy, or if you're going to blaze forward into, finding the people that are your road dog, and you're their road dog, because it comes down to that now, to really step into this new age. Here's a little tidbit of little weird factual information I gathered. I was looking back at my documentary from 2012, and Saturn was at 8 degrees then, and Saturn just came off that on December 21st, 2012, and it's come through its retrograde shadow period for that date of December 21st. The new age is on. No BS. Monday, Saturn moved to 9. It's done. Saturn's not coming back here for 28 and a half years. So the new age work has been done, which is about living in your truth. I think it's interesting that it was Saturn in Scorpio for that. And I want to harmonize this channel with, I do this because I'm a dead, hardcore believer in December 21st, 2012, in the realignment of this galaxy into the more positive light, and that there are many people out there who know their calling. And I do this channel for you to step into that calling. And if you're one of those people who watch me for that, you're activated. It's time. It's time. These shifts have happened. Now, of course, there's going to be some very powerful things happening over the next couple years, but it's here now. It's here now. We've also made it halfway through the karmic year. I'm going to just say it because I'm not a one that believes in January 1st as a year. I believe in March 20th to March 19th as a year. So we're halfway through this year, and the shifts are happening. It's a lot like when you're at an office and somebody takes over. You got to change computers and change software and change managers and change your files out of your desk and maybe get new desks. Spirituality has been shifting all of us from this positive and light energy, or this positive light and dark energies. And of course my microphone falls right as I'll just say this. It's like we're going in between light and then still seeing this weird old energy, and now it's full on with the light. So make it your best right now. And today is one of those days to make it your best by listening to what's worthy of your best, but still being open that it's the worth that takes you to your truth but it's the worth that can also hold you there if you're hoarding on it that it's supposed to be a certain way. And it's by fairness, equality, and teaming with others, with the universe, with God, with yourself, to harmonize this reality in the correct way for yourself. So this was a deep horoscope, but that's where we're at now. It's deep times. And I ask you to really take a look at today and see where this deep story has brought you, because today is the day for you to write chapter 1. Check out my website, inclusiveastrology.com, if you have any questions or if you want to have a one-on-one reading. Thank you guys for all your support, and I will see you tomorrow.